What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of the Philadelphia Eagles Connected franchise mode. It's been a while. We've taken a little bit of a break, and this episode here is just going to be a preseason summary and set up everything we need to know for year number 2 of the Philadelphia Eagles Connected franchise mode. We will be mixing it in with the Snowhawks franchise. It's going to be a little bit slower of a release for the Eagles franchise, at least for a little bit, so that I can catch up and establish the Snowhawks. Ideally, I would like to have them, at some point in this Madden 18 season being uploaded around the same time. So like when we're doing the year 2 offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles, we're beginning like the year 2 playoffs or something like that. Like we're only a couple videos behind, but we're only 4 episodes into the Snowhawks, 4 or 5 episodes in. This is 22, so we have a little bit of catching up to do. But like I said, this is just much more of a miscellaneous, really trying to deal with the roster with cuts and stuff like that, as well as just viewing and evaluating all of the rookies. Most importantly on our team, we want to see how Saquon Barkley performs. Same goes with Hal Vaitai taking over for the retired Jason Peters at left tackle. We have Cody O'Connell starting at left guard. Potentially, Torrey Smith up on the chopping block. We're going to try to give Nelson Aguilar some snaps at wide receiver 3. We're going to see what Antonio Callaway can bring for us. We know Mack Hollins is legit, currently sitting all the way down at wide receiver 4. Is Wentz going to be able to finally get into an MVP caliber type season like he is in real life? Last year with us, he threw 30 touchdowns, but had a bunch of interceptions because we were messing around with all Madden with no appropriate sliders, as well as our kicking stats glitched out because we had Donnie Jones for some reason as our kickoff starter. So we're going to make sure Jake Elliott is our kickoff starter so that we actually get some stats tracking here for Jake the Snake Elliott. So without further ado, fellas, we are going to simulate this first game against the Cleveland Browns, see what happens, analyze the result, and then take it from there. Alright, so preseason Super Bowl champs starting out on the right foot as the Philadelphia Eagles are able just to barely squeak by the Cleveland Browns 21-20 in this opening ball game. Nick Foles, 237 yards and 1 touchdown. Great performance from there. Not a lot of Josh Rosen, one of the most impressive rookies maybe ever. 87 overalls at base rookie, and Wentz did not see a whole lot of action. As far as running is concerned, Duke Johnson was able to get 71 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley on 6 attempts at 25 yards. Donnell Pumphrey was able to come in and vulture 2 TDs away from him. Torrey Smith played for his job. 6 catches, 91 yards for him. Burton 4 for 44. Mack Hollins 4 for 35. Nothing much there from a rookie Callaway. Let's see sacks. Who gave up a sack? Hopefully it wasn't Big V. Big V gave up 2 sacks, which is definitely not what you want to see from your starting left tackle, taking over for what could only be assumed in Jason Peters is a Hall of Famer. Kurt Magid from Tennessee, 11 tackles. Wow, pretty impressive there. Sack and a half, Chris Long. Sack for Timmy Jernigan. A sack for Daron Payne. And no interceptions. But overall, we will take the starting result with a 1-0. 1 point in the win column. But we do need to be aware of the 2 sacks given up from Vaitai. With something we'll have to monitor throughout this preseason. Next up is going to Arizona. Take on Param Crow and them damn Philadelphia Eagle killer Arizona Cardinals. So in week 2, the Cardinals got the best of our Philadelphia Eagles, beating us 21-17. Noticing that our offense is struggling to put up more than 20 points is a little worrying, but it's predominantly backups. Nick Foles threw a touchdown. Luke Falk, the new starter there in Arizona. Oh, maybe not. Carson Palmer's still holding on. 2 picks, so maybe there's some drama there. Luke Falk might be pressed to take over that starting gig for the Arizona Cardinals at the quarterback spot. Wentz, again, you'd assume that was 1 drive. As far as rushing is concerned, Pumphrey 14 carries for 60 yards. Saquon Barkley 52 yards and a touchdown, which is exactly what we want to see. As far as receiving is concerned, let's just more so look at the Eagles here. Pumphrey has been playing very, very well as a backup. Give him credit where credit's due. 3 catches, 39 yards there for Mr. Alshon Jeffrey. As far as sacks, 1 given up from Vaitai, so he's pretty much the only Eagle that has given up any sacks in these first 2 games. I am very worried. On the defense side, 10 tackles for Malcolm Jenkins. We got a sack from Rodney McLeod, a sack from Michael Kendricks, a sack from Vinny Curry, and a pick for Rodney McLeod, Hendricks, and Mr. Joe Walker. They didn't give him crazy beard or hair or anything like that. So, good performance from the defense side of things. Unfortunately, we weren't able to come through the victory, but I guess the big telling point from that game is there a QB controversy boiling up in Arizona. So what we're going to do here is we'll sim to week 3, review the box score for the Rams. You can't really check back for some reason. It won't let you recap week 4. So what we will do to end this episode is kind of look around the league and see what rookies might have played really well in the preseason to give us an indication maybe of some changes of the guard, especially like we just saw with Luke Falk and the Arizona Cardinals. So first up, though, is the Rams in preseason game 3. All right, and for week number 3, our Philadelphia Eagles finally put in work in the third preseason game, which is usually where you get a lot of work for your starters. Carson Wentz started out very, very hot. 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, my God. Jared Goff throwing 4 picks. Oh, my God. 4 picks for Jared. That is horrendous in a battle of Wentz versus Goff. As far as rushing, 71 yards there for Todd Gurley. Pumphrey had 62. Not the best day there for Saquon Barkley. 2.8 yards per carry. Could definitely be better. You know, I'm not going to hold too much against it. Antonio Callaway, a rookie, 5 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Aguilar also got a touchdown, working out of the slot position. Please nothing for Vaitai. Please nothing. Vaitai, 2 sacks, 5 sacks giving up in 3 games. He's the only guy. We might have to do something here for the tackle spot. I'm not exactly sure what. Maybe Vaitai always going to play like that in the sim, and it won't be so bad once we actually start to control this team. Looking at the sacks front here, we got a sack from Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham, but let's see those 4 picks. 1 from Malcolm Jenkins, Jordan Hicks, Rodney McLeod, and Sidney Jones. Very good to see our defense, especially in the secondary, performing very well in the last 2 preseason games. So that is going to set up this game against the Panthers, but first and foremost, we have 4 cuts to make, and, you know, pretty big decision what we're going to do. Bryce Treggs will be gone. Alex McAllister will be gone. Shelton Gibson, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Isaiah Ford will go. We want to save some money, and we just simply can't have him here. We're saving $4 million in cap space. Torrey Smith is 29. He's not going to work out. We got to get rid of Torrey Smith, free up some of that cap space so that next year we actually try to make a big splash in free agency. So this here roughly will be our starting lineup. We're going to sim. Actually, we'll check the stats this week just because I don't know if the sim will let me go back and check the stats for the preseason once the regular season begins. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to take a look at the free agency wire, see if anyone's surprising got cut that we can try to bring in here and improve our roster. All right, so not a whole lot in terms of the stats that was really worth going down as things were pretty cut and dry as far as stars. Like Luke Falk looked good, but they're still going to be rolling with Carson Palmer. So now it's time to look at the waiver wire to see more so help us build our special teams and our practice squad. And Sam Hubbard is the only edited rookie that did get cut. I can't remember what team drafted him. Does it say here? Progression history? Nah, it doesn't matter. But either way, we're going to land him and bring him to the practice squad. 73 overall defensive end. Not, you know, pretty good scheme fit as well. A little bit built like Brandon Graham. Outside of that, though, not a whole lot of players. We'll bring in Justin Senior because he's Canadian to our practice squad. We'll bring in Alex Anzalone because obviously Gator bias to our practice squad. And outside of that, there's not a whole lot of big time. I mean, I do like Wayne Gallman, but I know we're pretty much set now at the running back spot. As far as like surprising cuts, though, for some reason Chris Thompson keeps getting cut. At the quarterback spot, there's nothing too crazy. But yeah, Chris Thompson keeps getting released, and I kind of want to bring him in. But what is his, like, you know what? We're going to bring in Chris Thompson. Because I just don't want Donnell Pumphrey to be our backup running back. Chris Thompson is one of, I've seen him kill the Eagles more than enough times to warrant being our backup. A nice little 1-2 punch, if you will, with Saquon Barkley. Even though Barkley is a 3-down back, and you ideally would still want to have him out there in passing situations. He's a good weapon to add to this offense. And, you know, if they're going to let him be there, might as well bring him in. As far as wide receivers, not a whole lot there. Tight end, same can be said. Offensive line, not much. I mean, you know, Bowie's 25, 74. But I mean, I don't know. We're gonna have to just wait and see, I think, with the Vaitai, especially once we get into games. If he is, in fact, that bad of a liability, we'll probably have to look elsewhere. Maybe the waiver wire, maybe through something with a trade. But yeah, nothing too much there. I mean, there's some veterans here. Will Sutton might not be terrible. If we get an injury, Steven Means, real good preseason player for the Eagles in real life. But overall, I feel pretty good about our roster. Jonathan Joseph's kind of surprise cut. What do we got here? Sean Klein, 21. I mean, I try not to sign people on practice squads unless we absolutely need to. So because we signed Chris Thompson, we need to fill up that one spot. And I think it's going to be... We'll get rid of Jerron Jones. We don't need 6 defensive tackles on our roster whatsoever. So that will do it pretty much here for the preseason. We'll simulate this last game against the Panthers. We'll pretty much just know if we win or lost, and then we'll set everything up to wrap the episode up so we can jump in to year number 2. All right, so here we are, week 1, going to Nissan Stadium to take on the Tennessee Titans. Definitely not a cakewalk for an opening week. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the depth chart, and I'm going to try to gauge your feedback. It's going to be not a while, but it's going to be a couple days after this video is out, before I even record the next Eagles one. So if there's any depth chart decisions that you guys, the majority, want to see me make, I'm definitely open to that. But for the QB spot, we're just rolling 2 QBs, Wentz and Foles. Wentz is only an 81. You'd figure with how he's playing in real life right now, he'd be much higher than an 81 come year 2. But it's on us. It's on us to continue to develop him and build him into, like, right now, Wentz should probably be like an 84 minimum. Look at the running back spot with Saquon Barkley. Obviously, will be our top dog. We signed Chris Thompson off the waiver wire here to be a very decent receiving back. I don't know. I think we probably still will keep Saquon Barkley as our 3rd down back unless Chris Thompson's that much higher. We have Pumphrey and Smallwood here as well for our running backs. I don't know if we need to carry 4 running backs. I know a lot of Philadelphia Eagle fans are a little bit salty with Pumphrey and probably will say kick him off the roster. But, you know, as disappointing as I've been with Pumphrey in real life, we got to remember Nelson Aguilar. He took him a while to turn around. Maybe we'll have to see. We have J.D. Moore here starting as a fullback, the rookie, 80 overall. At wide receiver, we're going to go Jeffrey and Callaway as our 2 outside guys. Definitely Callaway with the 95 speed, 93 acceleration. You wanted to be an outside wide receiver. But who do we start in the slot? I mean, Aguilar in real life has gained some clout. I didn't play him much year 1 because that was, you know, a lot of year 1 was before the Philadelphia Eagles season even started. And Aguilar's played really well. But we started with Mack last year in the slot, and he was like on the offensive rookie of the year short list. He had like 700 yards, maybe 6 to 8 touchdowns, somewhere in that range. So he was really, really productive. So I guess my question to you guys here, most importantly, is who should be my starting slot wide receiver? Should it be Nelson Aguilar or should it be Mack Hollins? Very interested. I mean, Mack Hollins could wait his turn and see what happens with the future of Alshon Jeffrey. I'm pretty sure I can't remember if we extended Alshon or tagged him. I'm sick right now, so my memory's not perfect. So I mean, maybe we have Mack Hollins waiting in the wings for when Alshon Jeffrey moves on. I mean, he is 28, so he's getting up there in age a little bit. But yeah, definitely let me know who you guys want to see me start, at least at the beginning of the season, in the slot wide receiver spot. Tight end, we're looking beast. We got Zach Ertz, 91, Burton, 85, Brett Selleck, 81. What I noticed here at left tackle, Vaitai, 76. He's given up 5 sacks. I think that's 2nd most in the preseason. Is our rookie Cody O'Connell, who is a guard, but he's a monster guard at 6'9", 344. He's actually a 78 overall tackle, which is 2 points higher than Vaitai. I know, you know, Philadelphia Eagle fans, in real life, we kind of want to see what life with Vaitai is at tackle. Plus, we don't want the sim to really, you know, influence our total opinion on him because he might play better when we're actually in control of the game. But we could potentially go with Cody O'Connell as our left tackle. And then here at left guard, we move Isaac Seumalo in, 74 overall. You know, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that move. But until then, Cody O'Connell will start at left guard. We have Wisniewski, a 78 overall center. Kelsey here, 76. I was thinking about cutting Kelsey, but his contract, we still have to eat too much of it. So maybe we'll evaluate things at season's end. Right guard, we have Brandon Brooks, 89. And at right tackle, Lane Johnson with a 91. He's still a monster. Defensive front looks real good. We got Brandon Graham here, 96. We got Derek Barnett up to an 80 overall. Like, again, I would have expected Derek Barnett. I think he had like 10, 11 sacks to be higher than 80. But I guess the XP gods weren't with us. We're using some of the top community XP sliders. And I guess they're not really helping us out with Carson Wentz and Derek Barnett in particular. Even Mack Hollins is a 69. Where's that coming from? Fletcher Cox, a 95. Jernigan, 85. Deron Payne here, 79. And Elijah Quall, 76. All these guys are solid producers. We need to find a way to get Deron Payne on the field. I'm not so sure how that's going to happen. Maybe if an injury happens, we can do that, but we really don't want to see Cox or Jernigan go down with an injury. We have Bradham here, 88 overall outside linebacker. Jordan Hicks, 88 overall linebacker. And Michael Kendricks in 80. So I'm kind of glad, you know, in the same mold as Nelson Aguilar, but Nelson Aguilar is really disappointing in real life. Kendricks was going into the year, but I'm glad that I kept Kendricks because right now in real life he's playing very well, and we still have him here in Eagles franchise, and he's really good at coming in on linebacker blitzes. So our linebacking core is absolutely fire. Our secondary, we have Darby, Sidney Jones, and Jalen Mills, as well as Rasul Douglas as our secondary, which probably will be, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles secondary in real life in the 2018 season. You'd like to see Mills to be a couple more points higher. I think Mills probably should be in the 75 range. Rasul Douglas, low 70s. But again, the XP gods have not really been helping us out a whole lot. We have Roddy McLeod here at safety, 83 overall. And at strong safety, Malcolm Jenkins, 83. That is definitely something we need to keep an eye on, though. Especially Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins and Brandon Graham are the two guys that are prominent features on the Philadelphia Eagles defense that are getting up there in age a little bit. And more importantly, this upcoming draft, we'll probably need to focus in on their replacements, their future replacements. I know there's lots of talk about Jalen Mills or Rasul Douglas taking over for Malcolm Jenkins. We have to wait and see. Plus, we're able to get Sam Hubbard off the waiver wire. He's a 73. He may be able to develop into some guy that we can sign next year or sign at some point during this season and build to be an eventual successor to Brandon Graham. We have Jake the Snake Elliott as our kicker and Johnny Townsend, the punter from Florida, as our punter. Kick returner, we're definitely not putting Saquon Barkley back there, so we'll go with these two. We'll go Callaway and Gibson. We really want to limit the amount of damage that Saquon Barkley potentially could take. Third down back. Let's see, who's higher? Chris Thompson's only a 76 for a third down back. That is very surprising. So I guess we'll make him third down back number 2. And our practice squad looks as is. We got Senior, Hubbard, Anzalone. Overall, though, not a super solid practice squad. Maybe after a couple more weeks, we'll see what we can do. Maybe build it up a little bit. But I think this will probably be it. So there you go, guys. That is all the primer we need to jump into episode 23, which will be in a couple days' time, which will be the opener against the Tennessee Titans. Again, looking for your feedback, more so in who you want to be our starting slot wide receiver, be it Nelson Agholor or Mack Hollins. And at left tackle, should we make the move to Cody O'Connell over Hal Vaitai, who has not played very well in this sim? Is the sim a sign of things to come? It's up to you guys. You guys to decide. So thank you guys for watching. As always, it's your first time stopping by. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.